Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. Today we'll be working on a 1967 Mustang. As you can tell, we got the carburetor taken off of it. Over here on the bench, this is an Edelbrock 1406 600 CFM carburetor, and he was complaining that it was flooding real bad and stuff. We have signs of leaking gas out of the accelerator pump here, so we're going to pull this off. We got our carburetor rebuild kit here, and I'm going to show you how to change out this seal right here. So first thing we need to do is we kind of need to unhook all the linkage here, and right here you'll have a little clip right here. Let me get there. The needle nose. Well, might need a pick. Here we go. Right there it is. Make sure you watch where these things go. You'll have a little bitty clip holding this arm on here. Once you get that, you can just drop that arm off. That's going to activate this right here. I'm going to lay that clip right here. Okay, and that's got this side freed up. So over here we've got a, let's see here, we'll need a flathead screwdriver, which I did not grab. Gosh, I'm an amateur. Let's see here. Let's see if we can get this arm off here. Got that little clip out. It's the same as the first one. We'll put it right there and just slide that arm out. Alright, let me get a flat blade screwdriver. I apologize, I'm packing you with me today. Right here. And we're back over here. Set you up like this here. There we go, finally got it. I'm going to take this screw out here, and this is for the accelerator pump lever. Now it's going to have some tension on it as that pump comes up. You can see it raised up by itself. And we're going to kind of tilt that back and just lay it over like that. We'll go ahead and take this S-cam out. And that's got all the linkage unhooked. Now, we're going to use a T15 here. We're going to break these metering rods out, like so. I'm going to break these metering rods out. And I like to lay everything right here in front of it on the side that it comes off at. We'll pull these out. And just drop it right down here. There it is. Spring out. That's it for that side. Let's go ahead and take this side off. And these are these do have spring tension on them, so be advised of that. And we'll do the same thing over here. Pull it out, lay it down. Organization is key whenever you're working on a carburetor. I just went ahead and just took that arm off, put it right there. So as you can see, we've got our metering rods out, and they come out right here, right in these two holes. We'll put you back right here. Next, we're going to change our bit here, and we're going to go for a T25, and we're going to begin to separate this top plate here. I'm just going to break these loose. Remember, you can use power tools to do this, but I always recommend breaking them loose by hand and tighten them up by hand. All them's broke loose. I have an electronic screwdriver here. We're going to get down. Okay, now that we got all them loose, I'm going to take these screws out one at a time. And as I'm doing this, I'm checking to make sure they're all the same size, and they are. So we're just going to throw them all in the same bin. Now we're going to pull the top off. And you can see here that we got our floats and stuff. We're just going to flip that upside down. We're just going to do that little number. Right here is our culprit. Does look like it is a little bit bent. Looking at the seal here, seal seems to be fine, but you know how that goes. It can always look good and not be. So we're going to go ahead and open this kit up here and see what we got. We got a brand new one, and it's actually a metal one and not a... So we're going to go ahead and get this bad boy open here. Now I'm not going to put all these parts in here. I'm just going to replace what needs to be. I like having spare parts on hand, like these floats here. These are brass floats. These are brass floats. There's no sense in putting that on there whenever this is the only thing that's leaking. You will need this spring right here. Right here is a old one, and that sits right in there like this. Check, make sure you can see it. That sits right down in that bore like this. Goes right down in there in this hole. And as you can see, there's a little rubber seal right there. Well, as this goes down the pump, like you're pumping your gas, that is pumping gas into the carburetor. So that's what's leaking out the top there. So we've got our new spring and we've got our new accelerator pump. There is, I'm going to see if I can get this on camera. You can see down in here that there is a little concave in there. And that spring's got to sit right down in there like that. Okay. But before I throw that spring down in there, I did notice there was a little discoloration here. There's a hole, there's a little access hole in the side wall there of the carburetor. I did not notice that on many others. So this is a metal rod. The first one, as you can see, it's bent there and it moves. This metal rod does not. It's a lot beefier design. The spring looks a lot stiffer. So we're gonna just slide that puppy down in there. We got a lot more spring action now. Okay, we'll go ahead. Shouldn't have to do much with the floats here. I'm gonna go ahead and just pop the floats off. And how you do that, let's see here. I got this one off here. But the float should already be set on this. So I'm going to show you right here. Let's make sure you can see. So we got a little pin right here, and you don't have to have no tools to do this. Just slide the pin out, pop the float off. Simple as that. They're not press fit or nothing. We're going to go ahead and replace this gasket because we did separate it. And it's simple, you know, just pop it off. We'll set it over here. I got a new one right here. And even though that this kit was made for 1406, I am going to check to make sure that they do line up, that there's no holes covered up. As you can see here, it's a good gasket. So we're going to go ahead and slide that back down on there. As if we was never even there. Brand new gasket. Ooh, look at that. So pretty. And it'll flatten out on its own there. These floats are done set. Don't need to set them. Just slide that pin back in there. It can be a little bit challenging to line it up. Slide that pin in there like so. Get this one. Always shake your floats. I don't care if they're brass, I don't care if they're plastic. I always shake them. If you hear gas in them, then they've got a hole in them and you need to replace them. I didn't shake this one. I'm going to shake it just make sure. Don't hear no liquid in there. That's just a good rule of thumb. Remember, these are delicate parts. This is just a little brass piece right here, very easily bent. So you don't want to just go ramming things together, you know, to make it fit there. That's just, there's no sense in that. Let's see what else we got here. We will no longer need this. This has only got one gasket on it. The kit actually come with two. The kit actually come with two gaskets, so we'll have that for the next time if we ever need it. We got a new breather gasket. Let's see here. We got new float rods. Got new little clips. We won't open them though. We got a new jet kit. Yeah, got two jet kits, but we're not going to replace them. All that stuff's fine. There's no sense in. This car hadn't been run in a long time, and it just, whenever he started it up, you know, the seals are kind of dried out. We got a new carburetor gasket. So we're going to have a lot of extra parts here, and that's okay. Alrighty, so that's everything that we need to be done in here. Replacing the accelerator pump. So now we're going to just do this little number. We're just going to flip it over very gently, like we're just going to kind of stick it down through there very gently. Make sure a rod goes up through it. Make sure our gasket and everything's lined up, and we are good. So everything's lined up real good. But before I do all this, I'm going to get this rag here. Actually, I'm going to get a different rag. I'm going to clean that up there a little bit, so I can get all the way around it. Because once you get that rod in there, it's a whole lot harder to clean this. Just something to always think about. Sticking it back down on there, making sure the gasket and everything's all the way around it, and it should just slide together real easy. We're going to go ahead, we'll kind of twist this a little bit. Make sure your accelerator pump, there's a hole in here for your S-cam, and make sure your accelerator pump is turned that way before you tighten it down. And we're just going to start everything by hand. Start everything by hand. Word of the wise. Okay. Now I'm going to use this, and I'm just going to run it down. Not going to tighten it up. Do everything kind of in a crisscross pattern. There is 8 bolts. Alright, there we go. Now I didn't tighten them up all the way. I like tightening things up by hand. And you just want to snug it up. You don't want to cut that gasket. I'm using 1/4 inch drive, medium handle. I'd say if you had a torque wrench on it, probably 10, maybe 15 inch-pounds is what you're looking for. That's it, not a lot. Now, I've got them all tightened by hand. You can. Don't do that, that was a rookie move. You just see me, watch me do that. Try to stick that spring down in there without holding it. These should pump freely. It's always a good idea to shove down on them. Make sure they move freely. Make sure you put these clips back in there. Hook these rods back up. Okay, so I got this rod hooked back up, this rod hooked back up. That's where them little hairpin clips come out of. And we'll get our S-can. There you go. That's it rebuilt. And that's changing the accelerator pump on a 1406 Edelbrock carburetor. Let me know if y'all have any questions in the comments below. Thank you.